In this presentation we see the scope of embryology. So there is scope in plant taxonomy, scope in biotechnology, scope in histochemistry, anatomy and embryology, plant physiology and embryology, organic evolution and embryology. So we discuss these 6 points of scope of embryology. So one by one I discuss it, and you may also refer these from the textbook of Nirali Prakashan, Anatomy and Embryology. Syllabus is of Pune University. Our and their syllabus is same, so you refer this textbook also. So scope of embryology. First we see the scope of embryology in taxonomy. All you know what is taxonomy. So the taxonomy is the study and classification and identification of plants, angiospermic plants. So in studying while we study the taxonomy, we need to help we need the study of embryology also. For example, there are different types of ovules, that is anatropous ovule, orthotropous ovule, etc. So the orthotropous ovule, presence of orthotropous ovule is the characteristic feature of gymnosperms, and presence of anatropous ovule is the characteristic feature of angiosperms. So with the help of this study, we decide the plant is of gymnosperm or of angiosperm. Another example is, for example, in dicot plants, two cotyledons are present, and in monocots, single cotyledon is present. So by studying the cotyledons, that is, we take the seed and take and dissect it. If there are two cotyledons, we say that this seed is belong from dicot plant, and if one cotyledon is present, we say that this plant is belong from monocot. So in identification of angiospermic plants and their classification, the embryology study is important. Another example is fertilization. In gymnosperm, single fertilization is present, and in angiosperm, double fertilization is present. Like that. Then, second point, scope in biotechnology. So all of you know that biotechnology, tissue culture is important, and tissue culture is depend on the principle totipotency. That is, here cells are, totipotency means cells have capacity or potential to divide and redivide and produce new organs, tissues or cells. So in tissue culture, for isolation of embryo, isolation of apical meristem, isolation of cambial tissue, that is lateral meristem. So for this, uh, we need the study of embryology for standardizing the nutrient requirements for organogenesis and embryogenesis. So in tissue culture, we prepare the artificial media, that is MS media is used as a nutrient medium to develop this embryo or apical meristem or stem, part of stem or part of leaf we take for inoculation, and from that we prepare the seedling in test tube. So here the study of embryology is needed. Next is scope in histochemistry. That is, histochemistry means the internal structure or internal study of plant. So some stains are required for studying the uh, internal structure of plant. For that, we take the section of root, stem, leaf, etc., and then we stain it and then observe under microscope and study this uh, internal structure. It is known as histochemistry, and in this different types of chemicals or stains are used. So in histochemical studies of embryonic tissue, It provides information about the biochemical substances accumulated during the developmental and differentiation stages of tissues, and this is valuable for determining the nutrient requirements of the developing embryo as well as to understand the organic substances present in them. Next is anatomy and embryology. Embryological studies help in understanding the nature and role of embryonic tissue. So, the type of embryo, nature of the tapetal tissue in the developing anther, internal structure of ovule, their type, etc. For this, we can take the section, stain it, and observe under microscope. So, the study of internal structure is known as anatomy. So, these both branches are the sisters of botany, that is anatomy and embryology. Both branches are depend on each other. Next is plant physiology and embryology. In physiology, we see the various phases or various metabolism of plant. For example, osmosis, then uh, imbibition, uh, osmosis, endoosmosis, exoosmosis, or imbibition, or transpiration, etc. So, this transformation from vegetative phase to reproductive phase is an important change in life cycle of any plant, and such changes are based on hormones and growth promoting substances. And in tissue culture, it is very important treatment of growth hormones, etc. And in agriculture, for increasing productivity of the crops, role of hormone is very important. So to know this role of hormones in growth of plant, we need the study of embryology as well as plant physiology. And the last point is organic evolution and embryology. So many plant groups are diverse in the nature and development of embryo. By this, one can understand primitiveness and advanced nature of the plants at the embryonic stage. So, embryology help in tracing the evolutionary lines in plant groups. That is, study of embryology is help in evolutionary studies of plants. So, by studying the embryology, we say that this plant is primitive or this plant is advanced, that is more evolved than the previous, etc. So these are the scope of embryology. So you may write the short notes of this: scope in plant taxonomy, scope in biotechnology, scope in histochemistry, anatomy and embryology, plant physiology and embryology, and organic evolution and embryology. So you may write it short notes in your notebook and definition of embryology in your notebook by referring the textbook of anatomy and embryology. So this is the first topic. From next lecture we start microsporogenesis, that is the first step of embryology, that is development of male gametophyte, and the process is known as microsporogenesis. So you may read of it. I will take the presentation in next lecture.